Hello yogis! For today's practice, we're going to be focusing on gratitude. Gratitude can make us feel happier. It can actually make us healthier. It can help us sleep better at night. I know that when I practice gratitude, I feel so much better. I have so much to be grateful for, and when I forget that, I can really start to feel down. So I hope today's practice will help you focus on what you're grateful for. So let's begin our practice seated. Any comfortable pose that you would like. I'm going to sit cross-legged. We call this easy pose, but I know it may not be easy for some people. If you'd like, you could use a block to raise your hips up. Sitting on a block can be more comfortable for you. And go ahead and rest your hands on your knees and close your eyes or maintain a soft gaze and relax. And just come into stillness. Stillness with your body, stillness with your mind. Maybe just pay attention to your breath for a few moments. You don't have to change it. Just focusing on your breath can help you relax. If setting an intention is part of your practice, you may want to do that now. Perhaps you'd like to set an intention to be more grateful, or maybe there's something in particular you're grateful for and you want to dedicate your practice to that today. And just forget about your to-do list. There's no need to worry about that now. Don't worry about what happened in the past or what may happen in the future. Just be here with me now and try to stay in the present, focusing on your breath and what you're grateful for today. And maybe you notice your inhales are getting deeper and your exhales more complete. For today's practice, we'll be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them now. And inhale and raise your arms out to your side and then bring them up to your overhead. Big inhale, big stretch, and then exhale, lower your arms down to your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up at your hands. And exhale, arms down and look down at your lap. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. And exhale, arms down, gaze down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. This time leave your left hand down on the mat and inhale your right arm up and over your head, leaning to the left, getting a nice stretch on the right side of your body. Keep that right hip down on the mat. Don't let it come up here. And then come back to center and we'll do the other side. So inhale your left arm up and over your head, leaning to the right. Keep that left hip down, don't let it come up here. Getting a nice good stretch on the left side of your body here. And coming back to center, let's do that again. Inhale, right arm up and over. Maybe bending your left elbow here to get a deeper stretch. Perhaps you'd like to turn your head and look up at the sky and feel gratitude for our sky. And coming back to center, inhale your left arm up and over your head, leaning to the right, maybe bending your right elbow. And perhaps you'd like to turn your head and look up at the beautiful sky. Doesn't matter whether it's gray today or blue, it's still beautiful. And coming back to center. And let's do some twists. So bring your left hand to your right knee, your right hand behind you, and sit up nice and straight, and then turn your torso to the right, and then turn your head and look out over your right shoulder for a nice seated spinal twist here. Still just warming up our bodies. And coming back to center, we'll do the other side. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, sitting up nice and straight, and then turn your torso to the left, and then turn your head and look back over your left shoulder. And coming back to center, and we'll do that again. So left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, sit up nice and straight, turning your torso first, and then turning your head gently to look back behind your right shoulder. And maybe this time you want to raise your right arm up into the air and look out over your right thumb, giving you a nice shoulder stretch here. And coming back to center, we'll do the other side. So right hand to left knee, left hand behind you, sitting up nice and straight, turning your torso to the left, and then gently looking back. See what's behind you. Maybe you've got a friend here with you, maybe your pet. Maybe you'd like to raise your left arm up in the air and looking out over your left thumb. And coming back to center. Okay, from here we're going to just hinge forward at the hips, just to get a little stretch here. Try to keep your spine straight and your hips grounded onto the mat. So don't let them come up like this. Just keep them firmly on the mat. And just come forward as far as comfortable for you. Just work with your flexibility. Maybe you'd like to come on your elbows. And this is your practice today. I'm just here to guide you along. So if this doesn't feel comfortable to you, you can do any other stretch that feels good to you, just to get you warmed up. Okay, and come on up. Let's switch our legs and we'll just hinge forward again. Just as far as your flexibility allows. Okay, coming on up. Let's go ahead and transition onto hands and knees into a tabletop position. So here your wrists are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips. And relax your belly and open up your heart, open up your throat. Maybe you want to look up. This is cow pose. And from here, push the mat away and curl your spine and look down at your belly button into cat pose. You look like a scared cat here, arching your back, rounding your back. And inhale back into cow. And exhale, push the mat away into cat. Inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. And go ahead and continue your cat-cow stretches on your own. Inhaling into your cows, exhaling into your cats. And you could also do any other free-form movement that you'd like to do here. Maybe you'd like to bring your left shoulder towards your right hip, your left hip, your right shoulder to your right hip. Or maybe just wiggle your body around. Maybe shake your head yes and no to relieve any tension you may have. Maybe bending your elbows here. Just whatever feels good to you today. Every day is different. Every body is different. You can even just continue on with your cat-cow stretches too if you'd like. And from here, come into stillness and let's do some circles. So let's circle in one direction a few times, warming up the wrists. One more time in this direction. And then let's go ahead and circle in the other direction a few times. And coming into stillness. From here, we're going to do thread the needle. It's a really great shoulder stretch. So inhale your left arm up into the air, way, way, way up. Open up your heart, look up at your left fingers. Open up that heart, that chest area. And then exhale and bring that left arm underneath your body and lie gently down on your left shoulder. Keep your hips neutral here. Don't let them shift to one side or the other. And for your right hand, you may want to place it out at a diagonal to your body. Or maybe bring your right hand close to your face, push the mat away, turn your head and look up at the beautiful sky. Or maybe you want to bring your right arm behind you and grab onto your left thigh. Here you'll get a nice shoulder stretch, neck stretch, and even your chest a little bit. Opening up your heart, feeling grateful for our beautiful sky. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Okay, and using your right hand, push yourself back up into a tabletop position, and we'll do the other side. So this time, raise your right arm up into the air, way up, open up your heart, look up at your right fingertips, and then exhale, thread the needle. Bring your right arm underneath your body and lying gently down on your right shoulder. Keep those hips neutral, don't let them sway to one side or the other. And then with your left hand, you can bring it out at a diagonal to your body. Or you can bring your left hand close to your face, push the mat away, turn your head to look up at the sky. Or bring that left arm behind you and grab onto your right thigh. And we'll hold it here for 2 more breaths. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, using your left hand, push yourself back up into a tabletop position. And we're going to do Sunbird here. So lift your left leg up into the air and then stretch it way back behind you, curling your toes down onto the mat. And let's just rock back and forth here. And you'll get a nice stretch on your left foot, left toes. Especially, I feel it in my calf, my left calf, and a bit my hamstrings and glutes too. So really good stretch for runners. Okay, from here, flex your left toes and raise your left leg up into the air. So your leg is parallel with the rest of your body. And for full Sunbird, go ahead and raise your right arm up into the air so everything is in one straight line, gazing down at your mat, a thumb facing up, your right thumb is facing up, and this is Sunbird. And from here, we'll do some crunches. So on an inhale, lengthen out from your left heel to your right fingertips. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then exhale, curl your elbow to your knee. Crunch it in. Inhale out, lengthen. Exhale, crunch, curl it in. Inhale out. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale out. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale out, lengthen, and exhale, curl it in. And let's lengthen out one more time. Lengthen, 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 and lower everything down. And we'll do the other side. So raise your right leg up into the air, lengthen your right leg back, curl your toes onto the mat, and let's just rock back and forth here. Getting a really good stretch. And your right foot, your right toes, calf, a little bit in the hamstring and glutes here. Enjoying this nice stretch. I love this stretch, so I have a lot of gratitude for it. Okay, go ahead and flex your right foot, raise your right leg up into the air. And then for full Sunbird, raise your left arm up into the air, thumb facing up, and your gaze down at your mat. Lengthen everything out through your left fingertips, through your right heel. And then exhale, curl it in, crunch it in, elbow to knee. Inhale out, exhale in, inhale, lengthen, exhale, crunch, inhale out, exhale, curl it in, inhale out, and exhale, crunch it in. Okay, one more inhale out, lengthen, 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 and lower it down. And from here, let's go ahead and press back into child's pose. So sit back onto your heels and bring your forehead down to your mat. Your arms are out in front of you, palms spread wide. This is child's pose. So this is our resting pose. Feel free to come to this position anytime you want to break in this practice. This is a great way to show your gratitude, especially to Mother Earth, which supports us here. Just sink right down into your mat and think about what you feel grateful for today. From here, go ahead and push up, curl your toes, and then raise your hips up into the air, into our first downward dog of the day. Go ahead and pedal your feet here, pressing one heel down into the mat, followed by the other. Just back and forth. Your knees can be generously bent here. They don't have to be straight. Your spine should be straight. Gaze down at the back of your mat or at your belly button. Arms are straight, palms are spread wide on the mat. Maybe you want to shake your head yes and no to relieve any tension you may have in your neck. And from here, go ahead and press your right heel down into the mat and raise your left leg up, way up into the air, into a three-legged dog. If this is uncomfortable for you, you could just raise your leg up a little bit. And we're into three-legged dog just for a moment here. And then bring your knee up to your nose and curl it in like a plank crunch here. Hover, hover, hover. And then bring your left leg back up into your three-legged dog. And then bring your left knee to your left elbow and hover here. Nice little crunch. And then back up into the three-legged dog. And then bring your left knee to your right elbow. Hover for just a beat. And then back up into the air, three-legged dog. And from here, bring your left foot all the way up to the top of your mat, in between your hands, and you're into a runner's lunge here. So remain buoyant, up on your fingertips. Your right leg is straight, your left leg is bent. Your spine is straight, like a launching pad. And you're gazing down and a little bit forward. And from here, go ahead and lower your right knee down. And your right toes can be curled, or you can put the top of your right foot down on the mat. And inhale and rise up into a low lunge. Arms up overhead, nice and energetic. And you can lunge forward here, getting a really good stretch on your hip flexor. And if you'd like, maybe you'd like to just arch back a bit, gazing up at the sky. Just nice, gentle back bend. Nothing too intense here. And then bring your palms down to the mat. Leave your right palm down on the mat and raise your left arm up into the air for a spinal twist. And if you'd like, you can curl your right toes up and lift your right leg and get a deeper twist. Looking up at your left fingertips. Okay, and bring your left hand down to the mat and then bring your right foot back to meet your left, back into downward facing dog. And just for a moment, because we're gonna go back into child's pose, sitting back on our heels and feeling some gratitude. And breathe. And bring back what your intention was for this practice. Think about what you're grateful for today. Curl your toes. We're going to press back into downward facing dog. Maybe you'd like to pedal your feet here again. Maybe shaking your head yes and no again. And then this time, leave your left heel down on the mat and raise your right leg up into the air, into three-legged dog. And from here, curl your right knee to your nose and hover. And back to three-legged dog. And then your right knee to your right elbow and hover. And back to your three-legged dog. And then your right knee to your left elbow and hover. And back into your three-legged dog. And then bring your right foot up to the top of your mat in between your hands, and you're back into your runner's lunge. Nice and buoyant here, up on your fingertips. That left leg is straight, it's engaged. Right leg is bent. You're gazing forward and down. And from here, lower your left knee down onto the mat. Toes can be curled, or the top of your left foot can be down on the mat, and rise up into your low lunge. Arms up overhead, nice and energetic, and then lunge forward. And you really feel this right here in your hip flexor. Low lunge, maybe you'd like to arch back and look up at the sky. Just nice and gentle. And go ahead and lower your hands. This time leave your left hand down on the mat, and maybe you'd like to raise your left leg up off the mat, and go ahead and rotate your right arm up into the air and gaze up at your right fingertips into a nice spinal twist here. Or you can always keep your left leg down on the mat too if you'd like. Go ahead and lower your right arm down. Bring your right foot back to meet your left for a quick downward dog before we transition back to child's pose. And bringing our forehead down to the mat. And feeling grateful for what our bodies provide for us every single day. Keep pushing up, curl your toes, and press back into downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet here or come into stillness. Your hips are rising up into the air, your arms are straight, you're gazing back towards the bottom of your mat. Your heels can come down to the mat, or you can keep them lifted. Legs can be straight or bent. Your spine should be straight though. And from here, look forward and then step up to the top of your mat, both feet in between your hands into a forward fold. So you're raising your hips up into the air, and the crown of your head is coming down towards the top of your mat. And you can keep your legs bent here to release any tension in your back. And from here, we're just going to rise up slightly to a half fold. So half back. So your body's like at an L shape. You can leave your hands on your shins, or maybe you'd like to bring them up to your thighs. Looking straight down. Spine is straight. Go ahead, lower back down into your forward fold. This time, everybody bend your knees and then rise all the way up. Bring your arms out to your sides and then up to the top of your head. Palms come together. Bring your palms down to heart center, and then lower your arms down to your sides. Roll your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Tuck your pelvis. Engage your core. This is mountain pose. Your palms are facing forward. Lift your toes up and spread them wide, and then press them down into the earth. And feel grounded here. Feel connected to the earth, to the planet. And have gratitude for what it provides us. So we're going to do some warrior poses now. Some nice strong warrior poses always make me feel grateful. So inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and step your left foot way back behind you. You're back into your runner's lunge. And from here, we're going to rise up using the strength of your legs. Rise up into a high lunge. So your right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Arms up over your head, nice and energetic. You can lunge down as deeply as you'd like. And from here, we're going to rotate out to a warrior two. So your right leg stays bent, your left leg is straight now, and your left foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Your arms are at a T position to your body. Rotate your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Your torso is right above your hips. So it's not like this. It's not like this. It's right over your hips here. Gaze out over your right fingertips. And feel the strength of this pose, warrior two. And now we're gonna do reverse warrior. So rotate your right hand so your palm is facing up and reach way back with your left hand, and then bring your right hand up and over your face, keeping your right leg bent. Your legs don't change, only your arms. And gaze up at the sky. This is reverse warrior. And then coming back to warrior two. And we'll do that 2 more times. So rotate your right hand, reach back with your left, up and over, reverse warrior. And back to warrior two. Reverse warrior. And back to warrior two. From here, let's rotate back to our high lunge. So both feet are facing the front now, and your whole body is facing the front of your mat. And then bring your palms down. We're back into our runner's lunge. And from here, we're going to bring our right foot back to meet our left, and we're back into downward facing dog. You can pedal your feet here if you'd like. And then let's go ahead and rest back into our child's pose. And bring our focus back to what we're grateful for today. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead, curl your toes and press your hips back up into the air. We're back into our downward facing dog. And from here, look forward. You can step forward or jump to the top of your mat. Back into your forward fold. Inhale up to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees and rise all the way up. Arms up overhead. Look up at your fingers. And then bring your palms together back down to heart center. Release your arms to your sides. Roll your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Palms facing front. Fingers spread wide. Engage your core. Tuck your pelvis lightly. Feel connected to the earth. If you'd like, you can raise your toes up again, spread them wide, and press them back into the ground. Mountain pose, Tadasana. And we'll do the other side. So inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, swan dive over, forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, forward fold, and this time step your right foot way back behind you. You're back into your runner's lunge here. Up on your fingertips, nice and buoyant. Straight spine like a launching pad. Using the strength of your legs, rise up into a high lunge. Arms up overhead, nice and energetic. You can lunge down as far as you like. Your left leg is bent, right leg is straight. And then let's rotate out to our warrior two position. Arms are at a T position to your body. You've rotated your right foot now, so it's parallel to the back of your net mat. Rotate your shoulders down and back away from your ears and gaze out over your left fingertips. One more breath, inhale and exhale. And we'll do our reverse warrior. So rotate your left palm so it's facing up. Reach back with your right hand and your left arm goes up and over your head. Your left leg is still bent here, reverse warrior. And then back to warrior 2. And we'll do that 2 more times. So reverse warrior. And back to warrior 2. Reverse warrior. And back to warrior 2. And then rotate back to your high lunge. And then bring your hands back down to the mat and bring your left foot back to meet your right into a downward facing dog just for a moment before we transition back to child's pose. Forehead to the mat, glutes to your heels. And think about what you are grateful for today. Come on up, curl your toes, press your hips back up into the air, back into your downward facing dog, and then look forward. You can step up or jump to the top of your mat. In between your hands, forward fold to a half lift, back to forward fold. Bend your knees and rise all the way up, arms up overhead, looking up. Palms come together to heart center, and then lower your palms, your arms down to your sides, palms facing forward, back into our mountain pose, Tadasana. Roll your shoulders down and back away from your ears. Tuck your pelvis, engage your core. Really feel grounded here, connected to the earth in mountain pose. It's a great way to feel connected, to feel gratitude. Maybe you'd like to close your eyes and just focus on your gratitude today. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and side out, exhale. Okay, we're going to transition into a balance posture. So we're going to be doing tree pose. So ground down with your right leg, your right foot. Imagine there are roots coming out of your right foot into the earth. You're really connected. And then come up onto the tippy toes of your left foot. And you can bring the sole of your left foot to your shin or to your calf or to your inner thigh. Whatever your flexibility allows, whatever feels comfortable for you. Your left knee should be rotated out. If you're pressing against your inner thigh, make sure your hip doesn't pop out. Bring it back, press back to resist that. Engage your core, engage your glutes. Focus on something that's stationary, not moving. Probably not me, because I move a lot in this pose. Tree pose. You can bring your palms together at heart center and balance. If you'd like, you can raise your arms up over your head and imagine your arms are branches of the tree and your fingers are the leaves. And maybe the breeze is blowing through your leaves and branches and you're swaying back and forth. But you are so strong and so flexible, you can just bend with the wind and you're not going to break. Maybe you'd like to bring your hands together and curl your fingers and just leave your index fingers up, kind of like a Charlie's Angels pose. And bring that overhead. Really engage your core, engage your glutes. Balance, balance, balance. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Lower your arms and lower your leg and shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. And we'll do the other side. So this time, ground down with your left leg. Imagine there's roots growing right out of your left foot into the earth, grounding you here, and then come up onto your tippy toe of your right foot. Your right sole of your foot can come to your shin or your calf or your inner thigh. That right knee should be rotated out. You can bring your hands to heart center, engaging your core, engaging your glutes, focusing on something stationary. Maybe arms up overhead, maybe spread wide, maybe up straight. Maybe you'd like to imagine a typhoon is coming, really challenging your balance. This really works your core very well because you have to really engage it to stay up. If you fall out of it, that's okay. That's all part of it. If you fall, just come back up into the pose. And balance, balance, balance. Hold it. Engage your core, engage your glutes. Into tree pose. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Ahead. Release your arms, release your legs, and shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Bounce it out a little bit. Okay, from here we're gonna jump out into a wide-legged pose. So arms wide, legs wide, as wide as you'd like. We're gonna do forward fold here. So whatever feels good to you, go ahead and get that positioned. And we're gonna hinge forward at the hips, leaving spine straight very slowly, engaging your core, hinge, hinge, hinge down, and then come all the way down into a wide-legged forward fold. And from here, bring your right hand so it's directly under your face, and inhale your left arm up into the air. So your left hand is up into the air, and look up at your left hand, getting a nice spinal twist here. Hold it here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale that down. And then this time leave your left hand planted on the mat just under your face, and inhale your right arm up into the air, looking up at your right hand, looking up at the sky. Hold it here for one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, return it down. And from here you can bring your legs out wider if you'd like, or narrower, and do any wide-legged forward fold that you'd like. If splits is in your practice, please feel free to do that. Maybe you want to bring your hands to your ankles or to your big toes. Maybe you want to bring your hands back behind you, or bring your head down to the mat. Whatever your body needs today. Every body is different, every day is different, so listen to your body. Give it what it needs. It shouldn't feel painful. Yoga should not be painful at all. Go ahead. Rise up halfway. From here, we're going to do goddess pose. So bring your feet in a bit wider than hips width. And your toes are coming out at a 45-degree angle. And go ahead and rise up. Straight leg and straight arms up overhead. And from here, bring your arms out at a cactus position, cactus arms. And then squat down. So your knees are going right out over your toes. So straight alignment into goddess pose. And maybe you want to do a little lunging up and down here. We're all goddesses today. And every day I'm so grateful that I'm a goddess. And go ahead and rise up. And then come back down. Cactus arms, bend your knees. And this time raise your right heel up off the mat. And then lower your right heel and raise your left heel up off the mat. Hold it, hold it. Okay, lower that heel and rise all the way up. Have a little break here. And we'll squat down one more time into our goddess. And from here, let's try to raise both our heels up off the mat. And balance here. Balance, balance, balance. Go ahead, lower your heels and rise all the way up. Okay, from here, just bring your feet in a little bit more, maybe just a bit wider than hips width apart. We're gonna go ahead into Malasana. This is yogi squat. So go ahead and squat down. And then use your elbows to kind of press your knees away here. Palms come together at heart center, and maybe you'd like to rock back and forth. Here, keep your heart elevated. Rock back and forth here into our yogi squat. Back and forth a few more times. Okay, coming into stillness, bring your hands back behind you onto the mat and go ahead and sit down. And from here, let's just windshield wiper our legs back and forth here. Back and forth, just to release the hips a little bit. And then go ahead and extend your left leg out onto the mat, nice and straight. And then bring your right foot across your left leg and plant your right foot onto the mat on the other side. And then use your right arm to give your left knee a nice little hug. Very gently hug it into your chest. And from here, go ahead and bring your left hand back behind you, just like we did at the beginning of practice. Lengthen your spine, straighten up, and then turn to look back over your left shoulder. Another spinal twist. Hold it here for one more breath. And come back to center. Now go ahead and bend your right leg. So you bring your heel close to your glute here. And then stack your left knee over your right knee. If this is uncomfortable for you, just do cross-legged position. And for your heels, you can bring them as close to your glutes as you'd like. The closer they are, the deeper the stretch you'll feel. But please don't do anything that feels uncomfortable for you. Shouldn't be painful at all. It may be a little tight, especially in the hips. But if you have sore knees, please be careful with them. And we're doing cow face pose here. So your left knee is over your right knee. They're stacked one on the other, or you can just do cross-legged pose. And from here, raise your right arm up into the air, bend your right arm, and then bring your left hand behind you and grab onto your right hand. And then maybe use your head to gently press back on your right arm. Now, if your hands can't touch together in back, that's fine. If you have a strap, you can use a strap, or you can just grab onto your shirt. Maybe it looks like this for you. And from here, if you'd like a deeper stretch and your flexibility allows, maybe you'd like to hinge forward at the hips. Nice little bend here. And coming back up. Release your arms, shake them out. Release your legs, and maybe let's do some little windshield wipers here again. And we'll do the other side. So this time, extend your left leg out in front of you and bring your right foot across your left leg and plant that right foot into the mat. And then using your left arm, give your right knee a nice little hug into your chest. And then bring your right hand back behind you, sitting up nice and straight. Turn your torso and then turn your head to look back over your right shoulder for a spinal twist. And hold it here for one more breath. And coming back to center. And go ahead and bend your left leg. And now this time, your right knee will be stacked over your left knee, or you can do a cross-legged pose here if you'd like. Your heels as close to your glutes as is comfortable for you. And now your right knee is above your left. Did I say that already? Maybe I did. This time, raise your left arm up into the air, bend your left arm, and then bring your right hand back behind you and grab onto your left hand, or whatever you want to grab back there. Maybe you just want to do something like this right now. Listen to your body. I'm just a guide. So I want you to feel good. I want you to enjoy these stretches, these poses. I want them to help you. These poses should help you to come into our final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose, where you can meditate on what you're grateful for. If you'd like, you can hinge forward at the hips here. Really increasing that stretch. Okay, and go ahead and come back up. Release your arms, release your legs. Maybe do a quick little windshield wiper here before we come into bound angle, also known as Baddha Konasana or butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet together in front of you and just allow your knees to fall out to the sides. And maybe this is as far as you want to go. And then just butterfly your knees up and down here. You can bring your heels in as close to your body as you'd like. And you can bring your knees down as far as you'd like. Just work within your flexibility. And from here, we're going to give ourselves a little foot massage. So go ahead and open up your feet like a book. And you want to read the pages of the book. So have a look at your feet. And let's feel some gratitude for all that they do for us. A lot of times we don't pay any attention to our feet until they start hurting us. So let's give them some love. Let's do a little quick foot massage here. So start with your big toes and give them a little massage. Moving down to your second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and pinky toe. And then out to the balls of your feet, into your arches, and then onto your heels, maybe even your ankles. Nice massage, some self-love. And if you'd like a deeper stretch here, go ahead and hinge at the hips, bringing your chest forward with a straight spine, as far down as you'd like. And we'll hold it here for 2 full breaths. And coming on up. And we're going to move into boat pose now. Before we do, let's just do the little windshield wiper here again. This feels really good for me today. I hope you like it too. Okay, for boat pose, we're gonna bring our shins up off of the mat so the shins are parallel with our mat here. Spine is straight. You can grab onto your thighs here. You can straighten your legs if you'd like, if that's within your practice. I'm gonna leave mine bent here. And then if you'd like, you can bring your arms out in front of you, gazing out over your toes, spine straight, engaging your core into boat pose. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Go ahead and release that. Give it a little stretch forward, because we're going to do that one more time. Another boat pose, this time with a twist. Okay, go ahead and raise your legs up off of the mat. Bring your arms out if you'd like. Spine is nice and straight. And then bring your left hand to your left side and bring your right hand to meet your left and gaze out over your fingertips. A little twist here. And then back to center. And then your right hand to your right side and bring your left hand to meet your right and gaze out over your fingertips. And back to center. And then we'll do that one more time. So over to the left and hold it. And back to center, and then over to the right, and hold it, and back to center, hold it, and release. Go ahead, release forward here. And let's go ahead and lower down onto our backs. And so you'll be happy to know the rest of the practice will be down on our backs. So we're going to do bridge pose. So the soles of your feet are on your mat. Bring your heels close to your glutes, maybe touching your fingers here. And go ahead and raise your hips up into the air, into bridge pose. And for here, you may want to shimmy your shoulders underneath your chest. Maybe puff your chest out. And maybe you'd like to clasp your hands together underneath you. You're going to really feel this in your thighs and your glutes. Your legs should be parallel to each other. Feet are parallel. Hold this bridge pose for 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale it all the way down. And bring your knees up to your chest and maybe your forehead to your knees into a little ball. And from here, bring your right foot down to the mat and bring your left shin to your left knee and rotate that right knee away from your face. So your right shin is on your left knee. We're doing reclined pigeon here, if you know this pose. And then bring your left knee up towards your face and grasp behind your left thigh or your left shin. So whatever flexibility allows, your head and shoulders are down on the mat. Your left knee is rotated away from your face. Your right knee is rotated away from your face. Your right knee is flexed. I'm getting my left and right mixed up today. I'm so sorry. And then you're going to feel a really intense glute stretch here. So just breathe into it. Those areas of tightness, if you just focus your breath going into those areas, it'll really make you feel so much better. And try to relax the other parts of your body. You know, your face doesn't need to be tense here. Just relax it. That left foot, maybe relax it. Relax your belly. You don't need your belly here right now. One more breath. Inhale and exhale. Okay, go ahead and lower that and we'll do the other side. So bring your right foot down to the mat, bring your left shin to your right knee, and then raise your right knee up towards your face, grasping behind your right shin or your right thigh, whatever's comfortable for you. Your left knee is rotated away from your face. Head and shoulders are down on the mat. And you're going to feel this really intense glute stretch on the left side this time. You may want to flex your left foot, maybe relax the right foot. Relax your face, relax your belly. Breathe into those areas of tightness. We're just cooling down now, getting ready for our final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose, where we'll really focus on our gratitude. Okay, go ahead and release this. And lengthen your right leg down onto the mat, nice and straight. And then use your right hand to grab onto your left knee and bring that left knee over to the right side of your body. Extend your left arm out and gaze out over your left fingertips. Your left shoulder should be planted onto the mat, so don't let it come up. If that means you've got to bring your left knee back a bit, do that. And this is our last final twist. We had so many today, didn't we? If you'd like a nice IT band stretch, you can lengthen your left leg, straighten it, and you're gonna feel it. That'll be really intense. This is our final pose before we go into Shavasana. So if there's anything else you'd like to do, if your body's just really itching for something, go ahead and do that. Or any other twist that you'd like to do that now. And go ahead and use your right hand to bring that left knee back to center. Give that left knee a nice little hug. Bring your forehead to meet your knee. And then bring that left knee out wide towards your left armpit here. Nice wide stretch. And then extend your left leg out onto the mat and bring your right knee up. And give it a nice hug. Extend your right arm out to a T position to your body and use your left hand to bring your right knee over to the left side and gaze out over your right fingertips. Or your lying spinal twist here. If you'd like that IT band stretch, go ahead and extend your right leg, lengthen it out, and you feel it. Your right shoulder should be planted onto the mat. Don't let it come up. Okay, use your left hand to bring that right knee back to center. Give your right knee a nice hug. Bring your forehead up to meet your knee. Lower your head, and then bring that right knee out wide towards your right armpit. And then go ahead and bring both knees up to your chest. Maybe rock them here, rock back and forth. Maybe you'd like to bring your forehead to your knees and then just squeeze everything in nice and tight. Clench your jaw. Tighten your eyes closed. Nice tight ball. And then relax everything out. Spread your legs wide on your mat. Lengthen your legs out on your mat. Arms out at your sides, palms facing up. Lift your chest up and then lower it. Lift your head up and then lower it. And just melt down into the mat. For our final pose, Shavasana, corpse pose. Relax your whole body down. The whole reason we do yoga, we do these poses, these asanas, is to prepare us for this final pose, Shavasana. This is the best way to quiet your mind. So relax everything. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw. Relax your throat. Relax your shoulders down, away from your ears. Relax your torso, your hips, your legs. And just allow your feet to fall out naturally out to the sides. And just enjoy a few minutes of quiet time. Maybe you'd like to spend this quiet time focusing on what you are grateful for. Or maybe you'd just like to think about nothing at all, but how your body feels and how your mind feels. Bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Lengthen your arms up over your head and get a good full body stretch like you just woke up from a great nap. Then bend your knees and roll over to one side into a fetal position and just rest here just for a moment. There's no need to rush. only when you're ready, use your top hand to push the mat away and come back up to a seated position, any seated position that's comfortable for you. And rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes again. And just do a quick body scan. Notice any differences. How do you feel now compared to the beginning of practice? How does your mind feel now compared to the beginning of practice? Bring your hands to heart center. And then bring your thumbs up to your forehead. And remember to keep your thoughts positive. Bring your thumbs to touch your lips lightly. Speak kind words. And then bring your thumbs back to heart center. Maintain gratitude in your heart. I want to thank you for sharing this practice with me today. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to lead you. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you live a life of ease. Namaste.